What's up folks, how's it going, and welcome to another new episode. In today's video, I'm going to be taking you around the greater Lake Tahoe area while we're going to be field testing my new 4K gimbal camera from Thinkware, the Snap G. That's right, we're going to be taking this baby around the greater Lake Tahoe area, shooting some amazing content together and putting it to the ultimate test. I've never used a 4K gimbal camera before, so I'm very excited. But what are we waiting for? Let's hit the road. Alright folks, welcome back to my channel once again. I'm currently headed over to the Donner Memorial State Park and I have about 20 minutes on the road. It is a beautiful winter day here in the greater Lake Tahoe area with sunny blue skies and snowy icy conditions to put the Snap G to the perfect field test for us and see how it performs when it comes to stabilization, the video quality, and the audio quality, as well as some of the other attributes that we're going to be laying out in our field test for you. I have never used a gimbal camera before, so I'm really going to be giving you my honest experience and review in this video. Also, a huge thank you to the Thinkware Snap G family out there for hooking me up with the Snap G to put it to a test. Alright folks, now that we've arrived at the Donner Memorial State Park, it is time to begin the unboxing. And here it is. This is the Thinkware Snap G gimbal camera. So let's begin unboxing. Alright, so here you go. This is the Snap G box designed by Thinkware. It's a professional 4K gimbal camera, as you can see. And then we've got some product features and attributes over here listed. We got the 4K 60 frames per second with 2-inch LCD touchscreen, 3-axis gimbal stabilization feature, Face ID auto tracking. This is going to be very useful. With Wi-Fi live streaming feature and up to 133.9 degree viewing angle. This is quite wide. All right, let's take a look at it. Here it is. And this is the part I love the most. Take off the protective cover. What a beauty. This is the Snap G by Thinkware, professional 4K gimbal camera. Now let's go take it out on a field test. Alright folks, we just turned on the Snap G by Thinkware and we're going to begin our shooting here at the Donner Memorial State Park. It is a perfect day for a field testing, as I mentioned before, because the snow, the ice is making it really difficult to hold a camera steady as much as possible. And I don't usually shoot with a gimbal. I currently have the Sony ZV-1, a typical vlogger camera with the basic Bluetooth controller and the tripod. So if you've seen other videos on my channel, you've realized that my hands get extremely shaky. So I always have to go to Final Cut and actually eliminate the shake as much as possible through that software alone, which creates a jelly type effect in my videos. And it's super unpleasant to watch. I don't like it, I hate it, but I have to put it out there regardless. So I think especially devices like Snap G by Thinkware is going to make content creation as easy and smooth as possible. So let's begin our field testing. There's something about Lake Tahoe in the winter. The air is sharper, every step feels uncertain, and the ground beneath you, ice, snow, and history all layered together. I'm currently walking on slippery, icy terrain, carefully placing each step so I don't end up on the ground. In real life, this walk is anything but smooth. But here's the wild part. When you look at this footage, you'd barely know it. The Snap G's built-in gimbal technology is doing some serious heavy lifting here. Even as my footing slips, even as my steps hesitate, the video stays shockingly stable. There's no harsh bobbing, no rushed motion, no jitter that reminds you, oh yeah, this person is struggling to walk. Instead, the footage just glides. The other thing that I really like is how ergonomic the handle is. It is not like one of those rectangular ones, it's actually triangular if anything, and it really fits into the palm of my hand really well. It's very comfortable, it doesn't slip easily, but if it does, it also comes with a wrist strap. in these uneven terrains, how important is it that you actually stabilize your footage so you don't have to go through a lot of post-production editing, right? So part of that begins with hardware, ensuring that you have quality hardware so you don't have to work too hard and actually be effective in your time and efforts in producing the right content for the right purpose, and in order to also minimize the need for post-production edits. So that's why I wanted to take a look at Snap G, because I've been shaking my ZV-1 non-stop, and I really feel like I need to elevate my content game with a device like Snap G. It also seems like it has a healthy battery life. I've been shooting out in the cold for the past 2 hours right now, and it is quarter way down. So it's been very productive. I haven't had any issues thus far. All right. One of the things that I really enjoy with the Sony ZV-1 is actually how clear and crisp the image quality and audio quality are. So right now I'm also testing the audio quality on the Snap G Thinkware as well. The tracking seems to be doing really well, and from the 2-inch LCD screen, it seems like it's getting actually little to no traction or movement, so it's actually stabilizing pretty good, but we're gonna see it in the post-production as we compare it to the Sony ZV-1. So as I'm walking around the Donner Memorial State Park, which is a beautiful park by the way, I would highly recommend whoever is visiting the greater Lake Tahoe area or the Truckee area to come and pay a visit. But it is extremely icy and snowy, very uneven and extremely slippery, so it's hard to focus on 2 cameras while also walking on the surface. I feel like I'm definitely gonna eat it at some point, and I don't want to break either of these cameras. All right, there's a beautiful bridge coming up, and I'm gonna be shooting through that with the Snap G right now, while I'm also gonna be shooting with the Sony ZV-1, just so that you can compare how smooth the movement is on the Snap G compared to the ZV-1, which obviously doesn't have a single gimbal support. Same bridge, same icy conditions, same person walking, completely different feeling. This footage doesn't walk, it floats. The gimbal is actively compensating for each uneven step, each shift in balance, and each moment where my foot slides just a little. And instead of translating that chaos into the footage, it smooths it out into something calm and cinematic. This is the biggest difference between these 2 cameras. The things we do to capture the most beautiful content are simply undeniable, folks. I'm currently in knee-deep snow here at the Donner Memorial State Park, capturing this beautiful landscape on the Snap G and doing some panning shots as well to capture that buttery smooth transition within the video itself. But it's ridiculously cold, but the battery is still thriving. Out here, the ground isn't forgiving. Every step has the potential to throw you off balance. And yet, the footage stays calm. That's the moment where you stop thinking about the camera and start focusing on the story you're telling. This is why I genuinely believe 4K gimbal cameras are a creator's best friend. They simply remove friction. You're not worrying about shaky footage. You're not constantly adjusting your grip. You're not second-guessing every step you take. You just move. That's especially important in places like this. All right, we're currently testing out the face tracking feature of the Snap G, and we're going to be comparing it to the Sony ZV-1. What I'm looking for over here is how smooth it's actually following me, as well as the overall gimbal effect of the stabilization. as I'm shooting with the Snap G, it really makes me feel like I'm capturing these cinematic footages. Whereas if I were to capture this on the Sony ZV-1 or my iPhone, it would just look like a simple video captured by an amateur. It really enhances and elevates my content. Alright folks, I've been walking around the Donner Memorial State Park for the past 3 hours now. I'm frozen, but playing around with the Snap G and shooting content with it has been a blast. I'm very curious and excited to see how the content quality with the video and audio output are gonna be like once I insert the memory card into my iMac and check them out in Final Cut Pro. But this concludes this episode for you. If you have any questions, definitely comment them down below regarding Snap G by Thinkware. Thank you so much, Thinkware fam, for hooking me up with the Snap G to actually put it to a field test here in the greater Lake Tahoe area. Otherwise, please show your support by liking this video, subscribing to my channel, and definitely throw a comment or two. I'll see you in the next episode. Take care.